Hey, it's really late here, but I've just recorded a podcast, and that was good. And now I'm tinkering around in Workflowy. I almost can't believe that I'm considering this board view to be my homepage. It seems crazy, but all of a sudden I'm here, and maybe I quite like this style of having the day in the middle, and what you said, that your eyes cast across these other things to get there. So yeah, what I outlined, just roughly outlined in that post on the Workflowy group, was kind of something that feels important for me to pursue. Like really, only having things being on the surface as much as possible. And I think that you're familiar with some of Tiago Forte and Forte Labs, so I noticed that you were talking about progressive summarization, which I love. But yeah, like retrievability of notes is really important to me. Like progressive summarization, like it's all good, but if you never come across the notes again, then what's it for? And so it's all about this thing of what's it for? What am I trying to produce? And I think that my work, almost like my working memory, Workflowy has to reflect like what am I actually able to hold on to? Because as soon as it goes a few layers deep, I've got no chance. It doesn't, I think I've got a 3-week window to do something with stuff, to take action on it, or it just disappears forever. But I actually started this for a question. Your flywheels, I wondered if you would be able to take some screenshots of your flywheels and send them over. Because, so other than things being on the surface, I think things being small really helps. So rather than having a today flywheel, which these are the things I want to do every day, I think I might try and go for like morning, work, evening, bedtime, podcast flywheel, like all of these things, and have them broken down a little bit more. And then probably work, I can go even more deeper of like, okay, write a post flywheel. Like that's, I really like this idea of a flywheel, and just having these things that are granular enough that I can sprinkle them into my to-do list. I hit the morning flywheel because it's morning. There's no reason why that should even be there an hour and a half later. Whereas if I put a day flywheel, if I do a day, what am I supposed to do in a day? Then straight away I have the sense of like, oh fuck, really? Is that what I'm in for? And it can just feel like I'm battering it away. Whereas if I only click the template, if I only kind of introduce stuff into the day, again, kind of working with this, what I can actually manage, what's my working memory, what's my kind of capacity in this time. And a project maybe has 3 weeks, and maybe that's ambitious. And maybe a day has like, I can only think in 3-hour chunks or something like that. So only bring in stuff that I can manage in a kind of 3-hour window. And then I've got another, 3-hour window that I can bring stuff into. So yeah, it would be cool to see some of your screenshots of how you design your flywheels. I know it's kind of intuitive, but something to draw from would be cool. Yeah, and there's so many. The log thing is really interesting. I want to review that as well, because I think you had a log. I loved how you logged every item in and of itself, and then I think you dragged it to a day node, but that was right at the end of the day. That's kind of interesting to me as well. So yeah, I like that. Because I think, again, some of these flywheel things can be turned into logs. and I want to know how I can kind of get a break the chain or some sort of tracking system. And I think with Workflow EFX tag counter, I'm thinking I can do that. So if I create a template, sorry, I'm thinking out loud, and well, you're not one to point the finger for a rambling man talking on a Marco Polo. So I'll carry on. But yeah, if I create tags for these things, so meditate half an hour, and I've actually, I don't know if you can see that, hopefully. But so I've put different time stamps on there as well. So that if I meditate 5 minutes, I just click off all the other timestamps. So only 5 minutes. I blow up all the timestamps, so only 5 minutes stays. So I wonder if there's some dynamics there where I can at least say, like, okay, look, count the tags in April, and it will tell me you meditated 30 days in April, or 25 days in April, or whatever. You ran 50 times. That sort of thing. Yeah, I kind of dislike. Yeah, I just haven't found a kind of logging. I'm sure there's apps out there as well, but I just, as I said on that other post, I hate interacting with any other app, really. I just don't want to do that. I want to be working, and these should just be side, very sort of trivial, low expenditure of energy while I'm working. So really simple. So anyway, loads going on here. I'm enjoying it, and I'm even wondering, like, calendar is really interesting. Like, I've got my actual calendar, how you plan the day, but I feel like, I'm almost skeptical, dubious about how many tasks, like even having a task list. I'm not sure how much I even want a task list. I feel like my projects, if I can make my projects small enough so that this is Tiago Forti's sort of intermediate packet, so I'm just working. It's not even, the tasks come intuitively, or I can map them out every day. They're fresh. But having stagnant tasks is just the worst. I look down through a list of tasks that have sat there for weeks, and I'm like, ugh, get away from me. It's horrible. So yeah, I don't really know what I'm saying. Like, it can be good to outline something, but there's something, I'm really just trying to be on my own side and know myself enough to be like, okay, what is actually going to work? And there's something about freshness, fresh energy. So yeah, I don't know. I'm rambling. I'll leave it there. Cheers, David.